everyone to game number 3 between Digital Chaos South America and SG Esports. We were hoping for game 3. We were hoping for more South American action. We were hoping that these two teams would be extremely close, and they have been. Considering SG Esports beat DC South America 2-0 10 days ago, I am pleasantly surprised, and I am looking excited. Well, I'm looking excited. I'm excited and looking forward to game number 3. Looking at the ban so far, Bane has been taken out, quite surprisingly. SG have run it in both games. Game 2, it was very effective, especially up against that Legion Commander. Ancient Apparition being banned out this time in the first phase. Spirit Breaker being taken out by SG Esports. Now they have to decide. Veno is still in the pool, as well as quite a few other heroes. And they've actually taken out Huskar, making sure that, sure, DC can now either pick up the Veno or pick up the Necro. Only one of the two. They can't pick up both. So let's see what DC decide to go. If they pick up any one of those two or both. Oh, and Night Stalker. Keep in mind, Night Stalker was also in the pool. Night Stalker being a favorite, specifically in the SA scene, it seems like, especially in the past couple of games that I've been casting. In the NA scene, he is still picked up and banned quite a bit, but not as much as the Veno or the Necro. And this does give SG both Veno and Necro if they want it, which is extremely strong considering the hard swap aura as well as the slow. It does leave Lich in the pool as well. So that's 3 of the top tier picks, in my opinion, and 3 of the top 3 like most picked, most banned heroes so far this tournament. So Lich being picked up first, once again leaving the Necro in the pool as well as the Veno. Let's see if any one of those two is picked up. Veno would work very well up with the Lich, both of them slow. Of course, the Chain Frost as well as the Lich ult, as well as the Veno ulti can do quite a bit of damage, especially as they try and split up. They are caught inside and it does do a lot, but they pick up the Necro. So is this just going to be an instant Veno pick here for DC or not? Let's see what is coming up here for the side of DC. And guys, I've been chatting with a lot of the guys on Twitch so far, and they've asked me for a big shout out. A lot of the guys have been amazing supporters so far. So big shout out to Twitch chat. You guys have been awesome tonight. That's saying something. But Pugner being picked up here from DC. So Pugner being banned out second phase throughout this best of 3. Going through and being picked up in first phase, leaving Veno in the pool, so SG can decide to pick him or ban him. Most likely, Veno will be banned out in the second phase. I'd be surprised if he actually goes through. But DC want to go for a push lineup, and Veno can, well, does help with push, help with D-push. Late game, Veno with a 3 times HP as well as attack. Can do quite a lot of damage if you do survive till late game as well. But it's the Oracle being banned out now in the second phase. First ban out here for SG. Same as in game 1 if I'm not mistaken. I know Oracle was banned out then. And let's see what DC decide to take out next. For those of you wondering who I am, my name is Reddit. Big shout out to Beyond the Summit as well for allowing me to cast over the past couple of weeks. I've been casting quite a few tournaments and really been enjoying it. Yes, I am solo casting tonight, so show some love. It's not as hype as normal, just trying to slow it down a little bit. But yeah, Anti-Mage being banned out and Lone Druid being taken out by Digital Chaos. Is this going to be a Veno? Come on guys, no Veno just yet. Making it through all the way to second phase. And Nyx Assassin being insta-picked. I actually thought that would have been a Veno insta-pick. I'm not going to be hammering on in regards with Veno this entire game. And watch, it's not even going to be picked up or banned in game 3. It's ridiculous. But let's see, DC, there is a Nature's Prophet still in the pool. Nature's Prophet Pugner, good pushing heroes. They can do quite a bit of damage. Are we going to see a full push lineup here from DC? Or are we going to see a little bit of push and a little bit of catch and gank? Let's see Dazzle. Dazzle picked up, so a bit more slow. Night Stalker slow, Pugner slow, Dazzle slow. Minus armor coming through from the Dazzle, as well as the Shallow Grave. Shallow Grave will do will help out quite a bit up against the burst damage coming through from SG right now. And let's see the next pick for SG. Is it going to be the Veno? Come on, guys. I've been hammering on this Veno. Hasn't been banned. Hasn't been picked. Maybe both the teams are so surprised with the Veno not being picked or banned. They might have actually forgotten about him. It will be very, very interesting to see. HFN just playing out of his mind in game number 1. Game number 2, playing very well, but that was more the Aton, the mid player on the Queen of Pain, that just dominated there. So, last pick here for the second phase for SG. What's it going to be? Come on. Pick up the Veno. We know you want to. And nope. It's going to be the Arc Warden. Keep in mind, Arc Warden was banned out as well in game number 2. So it's going to be interesting to see how SG utilized this Arc Warden. Arc Warden, to be honest, can actually be a very powerful hero. Can control and zone, as well as split push themselves. I do like Arc Warden in the right kind of setup, in the right kind of lineup. Will DC give the Arc Warden enough space to farm, or will they shut him down a lot early? That's going to be the question. What's the next pickup here from DC going to be? It's going to be an interesting one. They do have push with a Pugna, but this Pugna can also be a Pulse 4 Pugna. It can be a core Pugna. Is DC going to go all in with the last 2 picks in regards with a push? Let's see what's going to happen here. Guys, this is the final for the South American qualifiers for the Perfect World Masters. Phantom Lancer being picked up here. So, Phantom Lancer, Diffusal Blade. Going to be interesting to see what he goes off to that. Can deal with the Arc Warden quite a bit. Of course, Phantom Lancer wants to fight within the bubble. Will be moving in onto the Arc Warden, draining up all of his mana. Arc Warden won't be able to do much after that. Necro can do well against the Phantom Lancer as well with the Ghost Shroud, but after the Ghost Shroud's up, Phantom Lancer once again just drains all of his mana. And if Necro doesn't have a couple of creep kills behind his back or behind his belt at that point, the mana's not going to be coming in, and it's going to be very difficult. Phantom Lancer, I actually really like this pick up here for DC here. Looking at the 2 drafts so far, I still feel SG have a more well-rounded draft, but that happened in game number 1 as well, and DC just rounded everything together with that puck pick in game 1. Let's see if they can do the same with their last pick here in game number 3, the third and final match. Whoever wins here gets the slot. So puck is being banned out just as I say puck. Puck's being banned out here by SG. I mean, they utilized that puck so well in that offlane role. They made sure the Dream Crawls were on point, catching out 3 heroes the whole time. And Puck can do quite a bit up against a Night Stalker as well as a Phantom Lancer, keeping them away from the fight, and then just counter engaging. So let's see what they actually do. It's the last ban out here. What are they going to ban? I mean, the Arc is there, the Necro is there. Nyx can be offlane, but most likely SG is still looking for another kind of offlane hero. They take out the Enigma, and it's their last pick. See, even the guys on Twitch are saying, come on, Veno picks. No Veno picks just yet. It's made it all the way through to the final pick, or the final picking phase. We're going to see the Veno now. I mean, it can still fit in the side of Digital Chaos. I still feel it's actually a very good pick for them. If this is going to be an offlane Pugna, which isn't picked up a lot in that role, but I'm actually a huge fan of offlane Pugna. All the way back in the TI, I think it was 3 days when Burning actually played offlane Pugna quite a bit. But it could also be a core Pugna. with a different offlane here coming up here for the side of DC South America. 50 seconds left here for them to pick. And they're taking their time. They want to try and pick the right heroes, try to round it off. They're probably discussing this. This is their last game. So win here and you're through. Let's see what they decide to pick up. Still 14 seconds left up here for the side of DC, taking up all their time, and they decide to go for the Viper pick. Not the Veno, but the Viper. 2 poison attack heroes, having that front liner up there for the Viper, or with the Viper, is something they lacked a bit in game number 2. They lacked having someone just to tank that up, draw in as much damage as possible, and having this Viper building up a little bit more tanky, going for the Dragon Lance early on. After that, getting that pipe up as well. I do feel that this Viper is strong. But let's see, Bloodseeker being picked up. Veno not being picked or banned this entire game. After this, I'm definitely going to tweet about that. I mean, it's a first for me. Well, let's have a look. It's going to be a mid-Viper here up on Utton. HFN on the Phantom Lancer. King on the Dazzle. Old Taker on the Pugna, Matthew on the Night Stalker. That's the side of Digital Chaos South America. Those of you guys on Twitch, who do you want to win? DC or SG Esports? SG Esports, Bardino on the Lich. Theo is... I keep on mispronouncing his name, so I'm just calling him Theo. Theo Liquor. I do apologize for the mispronunciation, if it is that. On the Nyx Assassin, Costabal on the Arc Warden, 4DR on the Bloodseeker, and last but not least, it's going to be Loposa on the Necrophos. He just hasn't picked up his hero yet. Let's see. A lot of early push coming through here for the side of DC with the Pugna. The wave clear up between the Pugna as well as the Dazzle. And as they start getting towers, the gold will come in for HFN on the Phantom Lancer as well as on the Viper. It's going to be a very interesting matchup, to say the least, between these two teams. Who has the better draft? I don't know. Game is underway, guys. Good luck, have fun to both of these two teams. This is game number 3 between DC South America and SG Esports. It's completely up for grabs. These teams have been at each other's throats, playing extremely well. DC coming back in game number 2, and SG coming back in game number... Well, DC coming back in game number 1 to win, and SG coming back in game number 2 to win this. Let's see what's going to happen in game number 3. The pauses are there. A little bit of lags coming through apparently, so gives us a bit more time to talk about the history. SG beating up DC 10 days ago, 2-0. And then I think they've been on something like an 8-game winning streak leading up until this grand finals, going all the way through the winner bracket. DC being knocked down to the loser bracket by SG, of course, 10 days ago once again. And clawing their way, scrapping their way all the way through to the win, or to the grand final right now, beating... Who did they beat just before this? Both the two teams, of course, taking on Infamous and beating them. Infamous dropped from winner bracket final to lower bracket final. They lost against SG 2-1 and then losing against DC 2-1 in the loser bracket final. So looking forward to seeing how both of these two teams match up in their third and final game. Lich has DC'd, but a lot of heroes that are normally banned out early on have made it through. The Lich making it through there as well. Necrophos, both, SG getting both the Lich and the Necrophos. Veno not being picked or banned through the entire phase. Very surprising. Arc Warden finally making it through for SG, normally being banned out in that second phase. Bloodseeker as well, normally being banned out in the second phase as well. Night Stalker normally being banned between these two teams in the first phase. So lots of bannable heroes up in game number 3. Deep ward being placed by the side of SG here for the next assassin. Let's see how they're going to lane this. The Necro is, well, I think this is going to be a mid-arc warden off lane Necro with a safe lane Bloodseeker, of course. Having the next assassin rotate play as that pause 4 hero. He has boots up as well. Lich, of course, will just deny creep here in mid, try and get creep equilibrium up for the mid hero. HFN on this Phantom Launcher, I was just about to wait. Quite surprised that he's hanging all the way up here on the top lane, making sure that they actually get this bounty rune here for the Viper. And it seems like we might actually have a solo safe lane Pugna. I mean, I was talking about an off lane Pugna, having that pause 3 Pugna. But it might actually be a solo bot Pugna with an aggro lineup here between the Dazzle, the Phantom Launcher, as well as the Night Stalker roaming around. I mean, keep in mind the heal bombs are real between Phantom Launcher and the Dazzle. And let's have a look who gets the better block off right now. Bloodseeker moving in towards the bottom lane as well. So it seems like they might have scouted this out a little bit. Necro moving all the way up top, having all the supports coming through bottom. And of course, with this ward, they might have just been seeing the heroes coming through. And there's an instant D ward coming in for the side of DC. Giving a little bit of gold here towards Dazzle, much needed. And a solo versus semi-try, well, dual lane versus a solo versus dual lane. It's going to be interesting. Pugna is going to be forced out quite a bit here. Of course, the next assassin will be able to harass out, especially with this mana burn up against this Pugna. Pugna might be in a bit of trouble if he overextends himself, but there you go. Next assassin does come in to try and help him. The blast, the nether blast is there onto the Nyx. Nyx taking quite a bit of damage himself. And dual lane versus dual lane bottom, solo versus dual lane mid. Of course, the Lich just trying to secure the Arc Warden in a bit of form. Arc Warden does not do a lot of damage early on. Having to rely up on, of course, his Spark Wraith just to farm up and get a couple of last hits in. But with this Lich here, it is going to help him. And this Viper is just trying to harass out the Lich as much as possible, getting slowed up in return. It's going to be interesting to see where this first blood might come from. And Bloodseeker, yeah, just takes off the clarity of, well, takes the clarity off the Night Stalker as well. Top lane. Leposa, I don't think will be too scared here. Towards the early levels in this game, he will most likely go level 3 either in Ghost Shroud or Death Pulse, then Ghost Shroud. So he should be pretty passive here. I'm just looking all over because I do not want to miss a first blood here, because the first blood could actually give one of these lanes a big advantage. Pugna not having any mana just yet. I mean, normally you don't want to waste too much in, level 1 on your Nether Blast. You want to save up as much mana as possible for that level 3. He, of course, does have an Enchanted Mango if he wants to use it, and if they will be going in for a kill. Let's have a look. Will they be able to actually do anything? There is no decrep skilled up on the Pugna to try and boost the damage output just yet. Viper taking quite a bit of harassment, but doing a lot of damage in return, keeping both the mid heroes on half HP each. And a lot of stuff happening basically all around the map. Let's have a look here. Bottom lane, middle lane 15-1 versus 13-1. So middle lane quite even, but slightly favoring the Arc Warden right now. Having a look towards the experience, of course, since Arc Warden is sharing a little bit of the experience, it is, of course, going in favor of the Viper. Bottom lane, 12-1 versus the Bloodseekers, 14-3. Bloodseeker doing very well here towards the bottom lane. Just harassing out the Pugna as much as possible. Night Stalker trying to do what he can and harass out, but this is also keeping the Night Stalker in this lane, and first blood coming through on the top lane. I didn't miss it. I caught the tail end of that, so still didn't miss first blood. Kappa. And towards this bottom lane, there is still a Enchanted Mango up. Sage Mask is there if he wants to use it, and let's see, can they actually do enough damage to kill this Bloodseeker? Bloodseeker is running away, and he will have more movement speed considering the Pugna's HP. And Pugna doesn't want to use the Mango because, yeah, there you go. He manages to get his Soul Ring up. Let's have a look here. Middle lane, 17 and 2 versus 25 and 2. So Arc Warden drawing ahead significantly in regards to last hits. Experience, though, is still in favor of Viper, and that could be very dangerous. Viper is a level dependent here, and if he can get his level 6 up, this Arc Warden might just die very, very quickly. Top lane, Phantom Lancer doing very well for himself as well. 21 and 16 up against the Pugna sitting, well, versus the Pugna, I mean, but the Pugna is a pos 3, sitting on 17 and 1. The big one is HFN here. 23 and 17 versus the Bloodseekers 26 and 3. So Bloodseeker still having a slight advantage here in regards with both the cores running in the offlane role. Let's have a look. Pugna still on level 3. He does of course have a, quite surprised he's not just going for a deep creep blast there, but he'll just get mana drained up once again. We do see a wraparound from the Night Stalker. He is level 3. And it is nighttime right now, so let's see, is he going to move around? Of course, he does have support, but no one is coming through here for the side of SG. Leposa, he's just falling all the way back, pulling up the creep wave, being there where he needs to be. And there you go, smoke movement is in here towards the middle lane. Will they be able to get a kill here onto the Arc Warden? What level is the Viper? That's the question. Still level 5, but does have 2 levels up, of course, in his poison attack, so just waiting for that frost armor to come off. And let's see, are we going to see the movement in here from DC? They have to wait here for the Arc Warden's trap coming through here, the Spark Wraith, and that's just keeping them at bay. They can't move in while that is still there. And the smoke is actually going to pop. Will they get scouted out or not? And the thing is, Arc Warden might actually, he gets a full healing rune, and there you go. Now the wraparound is coming in right now. They want to go in onto the Arc Warden, but it's only the 2 supports. The Viper's not there up until now. Do they have any kind of disable? No, the Void was already used to start things off. A little bit of a misplay coming through here from the side of DC. No kill up just yet, only a 1-for-1. And I think the Pugna's starting to get his stride here in towards the bottom lane. He is being left alone a little bit here from the Nick, so no mana burns coming out just yet. And he also, of course, has a Soul Ring to just help him out. The Night Stalker's coming in. Are they going to be able to get a kill? There's another burst coming through, but it's not going to be enough. A double stun coming through here from the Nyx Assassin, managing to catch them out. And the Pugna, he wants to be able to TP out. They will be able, well, they won't be able to stop him. And Night Stalker being creep blocked a little bit, not really going to do much. Pugna managing to get out of that, but barely. Let's have a look once again here on the middle lane. 37 and 5 up against 42 and 7. This Viper, I mean, he's not having the worst lane in the world, but the problem is this Arc Warden is really having a good time. He will have his Hand of Midas up probably within the next minute and a half, but here comes the wraparound. Here comes the engage. The Viper using his ultimate as well. Can they go in onto the Arc Warden? Arc Warden is in a lot of trouble right now. One more hit needed. Arc Warden does drop, but the Bloodseeker comes in. He does use his rupture onto the Viper. Viper's just standing still. Not really the hero that you want to cast out on because he is quite tanky, and he'll just be able to shrug this off, use his salve, and gain back all of the HP that he lost there. That was a 1-for-0 trade-off there. And DC getting the better of that, sending 2 and 1 with roughly around 1,000 net worth advantage. Let's have a quick look at the overall net worth. It is in favor of the Phantom Lancer, considering he's on this offlane role, doing very well, 3,300 versus his counterpart in the Bloodseeker, sitting on 2,800. Next up, however, it is the Arc Warden. Arc Warden is still doing very well for himself, 2,800. However, dropping to the Viper and giving the Viper a kill. I think it was the Viper that actually got that last hit on the kill as well. The Viper has caught up, less than 100 gold behind, and they are busy pressuring this tier 1 tower middle quite a lot. They'll not be able to get it with this push, but here comes Pugner, doing a big amount of burst here onto, and also forcing out the glyph. So the first tower that is going to drop is here. Meanwhile, top lane, no engagement there. 4 heroes here for DC. Basically doing what SG wanted to do earlier on, and that's the tower. That's probably 4 levels up, 3 levels up in Nether Blast. Gives a big advantage here for the side of DC. Let's see what they can do. Bloodseeker is trying to counter push out the bottom lane, but Bloodseeker is not really a hero that can take towers very fast. There you go. Phantom Launcher just TPs towards the bottom lane, building up his Diffusal Blade. He'll probably have this around in the next 5 minutes, which will be a very early boot as well as Poor Man's Shield and Diffusal Blade. But SG wants to try and move in for a kill. Will they be able to get the kill onto the Dazzle? Can they get the stun there? Nope. Nyx runs forward. Won't be able to do much. However, they do have Lich coming in, and there is a Chain Frost. Of course, there's a lot of PL illusions as well, so the Chain Frost can just bounce harmlessly between everyone. But let's have a look. Phantom Lancer might be in a bit of trouble. He is ruptured right now. He does use his Doppelwalk to get, or his Doppelganger to try and get out of that, but there you go. The Lich ultimate bouncing through between everyone, and the Phantom Lancer will drop from this. No, yeah, there you go. Phantom Lancer eventually does die. A 1-for-0 trade-off here, and it did favor the side of SG. They, however, want to go in for this Lich. However, they do have Arc Warden Replicate coming in here, and he will be able to do a lot of damage and maybe even get a kill just before expiring himself. 2 heroes down here for the side of DC. And the Arc Warden sending down his Tempest double, managing to actually score that kill. And SG sending up support top. They know that Necro might be in a bit of trouble. It is approaching nighttime again, and Night Stalker is there. Let's see. They do decide to go in onto the Pugner. Is not enough damage, but here comes the chase. Pugner does have Decrep if he needs to use it. There you go. Decrep. He turns around, uses his ultimate as well, taking quite a bit of damage. Will they be able to kill off the Necro? Necro manages to TP out. There was once again no Void up here for the Night Stalker, using it quite early to try and deal a bit of burst. But was that... No, that wasn't a rupture. That was just a pure Necro ulti coming through. So no deaths there. 2-3. Still favoring the side of DC a little bit. It was around just over 2,000 net worth in their favor. Now it's pretty even. Experience, though, heavily favoring the side of SG. And that, of course, is because of the Arc Warden. Arc Warden is going to give them quite a bit of experience advantage early on. So DC has to take the net worth advantage. If they don't, this game will spiral out of control. So, Viper being pinged out right now. There is a 6 up here, so the Vendetta Strike is there for the Nyx Assassin if they want to go in. But Viper, he smells something's up. They do have a deep ward, so they do manage to scout out, I think, the Necro busy moving in. Necro does not have his Reaper Scythe up just yet. Top lane being pressured in here by the Pugner. Pugner, of course, going in for that Aether Lens, just trying to get a little bit more range up on everything. And Radiant user scan. They think that the Nyx Assassin might be here, might be in Vendetta form. But Nyx is all the way top. They managed to get the kill on the Pugner. That was a Vendetta Strike as well. So SG doing everything they can to try and... No, not claw their way back into this game, because this game is completely even. But they're doing everything they can to keep themselves in this game. Even with those kills, DC still have the net worth advantage. And Necro did pause the game. So let's have a look and see what the item progression is. Night Stalker building up his way towards that pipe. Well, still quite a ways off. I mean, it's only 12 minutes into this game. But let's start with the highest net worth, the Phantom Lancer. He will have, within the next 2 minutes, he will have his Diffusal Blade up. And this is very dangerous for the side of SG. Looking at the Viper. Viper slowly but surely building his way up towards... well, actually not slowly but surely. That's actually very fast. Building his way up towards that Dragon Lance. Only roughly around 300 still needed for that. So the top 2 net worth for the side of DC looking very good. Meanwhile, the side of SG, Arc Warden has that Hand of Midas. So his Tempest double will be able to use it. His Tempest double will be able to give him just a little bit more gold the whole time. And he's building up towards that Maelstrom. We'll actually have it in around the next minute and a half, 2 minutes. So it seems like a lot of the core is doing very well for themselves. This Bloodseeker also Building up towards his Radiance, he will have his Relic in around 2 minutes as well. Radiance probably around 4 minutes. But we do see an engagement here, bottom lane. The Lich ultimate did go through, hardly did any damage at all. Let's see if they can save up. There you go, the Shallow Grave is thrown onto the Night Stalker. Night Stalker is still alive right now, however, he will drop. The Bloodseeker is on a killing spree. They still want more. Very bad engagement here for the side of DC. There were only 3 heroes. A good rotation coming through from SG Esports. Sending a couple of heroes towards the bottom lane, and let's see if they can push. They do have the Arc Warden up on the middle lane. He does have a Tempest double, but it's not on the bottom side. Bloodseeker might be in a bit of trouble himself here. He's overextending by quite a decent margin. A good start coming up here from the Nyx, getting a double stun. Mini Ravage there for himself, but the Bloodseeker, he's in a lot of trouble. Body blocks coming through here from the Nyx Assassin as well, playing very well. Let's see what they can do about this. They just decided to switch targets right now, and the Nyx Assassin is going to be the first one to drop. The Spike Carapace does actually trap up 3 heroes. Nyx Assassin is still alive. Night Stalker, however, is in a lot of trouble, and they might just decide to turn around and back off the side of SG. This is going extremely well for them. I have no idea how they managed to survive this. 3 heroes down. This might just be a 4th. SG is on the roll. The Nyx Assassin just outplaying them, body blocking, saving up his Spike Carapace until the very last minute. And getting 4 heroes there. Looking at the net worth, just look at that jump. That's a 2,000 gold jump just after that one fight. And SG are back in the lead. Considering they have the experience lead, 7,500 due to the Arc Warden. And Arc Warden wasn't even in that bottom lane, does not have his Boots of Travel up. So a very good fight coming through here for the side of SG. Twitch chat, what do you guys think? Who are you guys rooting for, DC or SG Esports? I've seen supporters from both of the 2 teams. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let's have a look. Lich is here. Does have his Chain Frost up yet again if he wants to use it, but there's way too many illusions here coming through from the Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer should have had his Diffusal Blade up by now, but that death cost him a lot in that bottom lane. But let's see. Night Stalker. Oh, there is. This isn't a smoked up. This is Invis Lich. Is he just going to drop down his ulti? He actually might be able to get this kill solo. Or is he calling for reinforcement right now? Yeah, there you go. Ultimate coming through. Lich Blast and bye-bye. Good night, Batman. You're going to sleep. Dazzle might be in a bit of trouble himself as well. There's a sneaky Nyx assassin busy stalking him right now on the Vendetta. There you go. Does not get the Vendetta strike off, but does manage to get the stun. Dazzle, however, Shallow Graves, and they don't have another stun to cancel this. Good escape coming through from the Dazzle. I mean, Nyx Assassin should have seen that coming, not use his stun, just go for the Vendetta strike, attack him, wait for him to try and TP out. He did have the Bloodseeker coming in as well, so no need to use that stun that early on. And Necro building up and regaining quite a bit of the net worth that he was lacking towards the early stages of the game, but he has a smoke movement coming up from DC. They really want to go in, and will they actually trigger that off? Well, I don't think the... Oh, maybe. Maybe the Spidey senses are tingling here for the Arc Warden. His temp... no, his temp is double. His Spark Wraith actually seeing that, but there you go. They want to go onto the Bloodseeker right now. Bloodseeker does not have a lot of movements. He is, however, being forced off out and healed up here by the Necro. Now the counter wants to come in here for the side of SG. They do manage to kill up the Night Stalker yet again. And DC will decide to back off. DC overextending a little bit there. And this Night Stalker currently sitting on 0 and 3. It was not nighttime. He popped it there just before he died. Not quite sure if that was the right move. But he will be back in 6 seconds. So he will be back in nighttime. And they can decide to try, or they can decide to go in for another kill. Phantom Lancer does have his Diffusal Blade up right now. That is quite big for him. Viper does have a Dragon on himself, building up into a Hurricane Pike first before going in for anything like a pipe or any kind of extra survivability for himself. Let's have a look at this Phantom Lancer. He is farming up very deep in the enemy jungle right now. But top lane, that's where it's at. Pugna, he just starts TPing out instantly. Is the stun going to be there? There's the stun. There's the nuke. There's the damage. They managed to get him. And Phantom Launch is coming in. Will he actually be able to do enough damage? He uses his doppelganger. Can they actually stun off anyone here? They just decide to back off. Meanwhile, Dazzle drops in the middle lane. So things going from bad to worse here for the side of DC. They are making the right rotations. They just don't have the stuns. The Night Stalker wasn't in range there to actually get his Void off, you know, to get that stun, to get that mini stun. And unfortunately for them, things just not going according to plan. However, the Phantom Lancer not dying there is good. He's building up towards his Blink Dagger. So for the DC fans out there, don't fear. Things are not going as badly as they can be, considering they're up against a Arc Warden with Tempest double, of course, which means double Hand of Midas. It is quite rough. However, looking at this Bloodseeker currently sitting second on the net worth, he will have his Radiance up, well, now basically. 120 gold needed if he does not die. Let's see, can they actually get the kill onto him before he buys it? That is a massive kill. It's putting down his Radiance for another minute and a half, considering he's down for 40 seconds. So a big kill coming through here for the side of DC, and this is just going to be a counter push. They want to go in, they want to take a tier 2 tower. It is being cliffed up right now, but they should still be able to do enough damage to actually take this one down. Are we going to see SG counter for this? No, we do have the Arc Warden still pushing out towards the bottom tier 2 tower, trying to go for a, any kind of trade-off. But from a 5k net worth lead, SG all the way down to a 2k. Oh, currently this says 4k, but the graph here says 3k. So maybe just give it a minute to reflect, getting around 2k down, or back for the side of DC. Still looking as they can take this. The big thing is the Bloodseeker, and if he can get up his Radiance. But he is TPing towards the top lane, and that's where the entire side of DC is. And they will actually scout out the Nyx Assassin. They don't have Dust. They did see him there. Was that because of a gem, a ward, a sentry ward? Yeah. And that just means the Bloodseeker will back off. And this might just be a second tier 2 tower going in DC's favor. Mid tower does get cliffed up. Get protected up a little bit here by the side of DC while they take a tier 2 tower. And hey, all of a sudden, only a 2k net worth lead for the side of SG. Radiant Courier was killed there. No items were inside of that, so they were very lucky in that regard. And let's have a look. This is a big item coming up here for the Arc Warden, having a full Mjolnir up. Can cast it on himself, on his Tempest double. Of course, his Tempest double can also cast it. Very big item, especially in regards with pushing out waves. And they did manage to get the tier 2 tower bottom. Let's see, they want to go for a kill here onto the Pugna. Pugna does drop his Nether Ward, and can they... No, they're just going to back off from this. Will they be able to catch off, or catch out the Nyx Assassin? They won't. And there you go. Radiance is up on the Bloodseeker. This is go time. $6 a.m. in the morning where I am, guys. It's been a long night, but I've really been enjoying both of these two teams battling it out against each other. It's not as hype as normal, just slowing it down so that, we can survive all of these games all together. The pings are there onto the Nyx Assassin. Do they have any kind of vision up just yet? There is a dust. Was there any kind of ping, or was that him pinging himself? Let's have a look. There you go. The Rupture is used straight onto the Pugna. This time, the Nyx Assassin actually kept up his stun and waited long enough. SG Esports getting 2 kills, but the Viper's coming in as well as the Phantom Launcher. Phantom Launcher, I mean, he can do quite a lot of damage. That's why they decided to try and counter engage this. They do manage to get a big kill on the Bloodseeker with that Radiance. 2 heroes here still on the top lane for the side of SG. They'll be forced to back off. And at least getting that counter kill, looking at the fight recap, or still a better fight for the side of DC, and all of a sudden 5k net worth once again in their favor. It did drop to around the 3k mark. But having this Arc Warden here with 2 Hand of Midas usages the whole time, two Mjolnirs with his Tempest double. Let's see what they can do. I see a lot of guys spamming in chat. USA, USA. Guys, this is Digital Chaos South America versus SG Esports. It's the first time that I'm casting both of these two teams, and it's been a pleasure. Game 1, I mean, we had like 9 kills in 3 minutes or 4 minutes or something ridiculous like that. Like a lot of action, a lot of everything. Game 2, both the teams calmed it down just a little bit. Wait, we do see some kind of engagement here at top. Both the teams calmed it down a little bit, but it was just clinical play coming out in game number 2. And now game 3. I mean, this is still anyone's game. SG do have the lead, and they do have heroes that can capitalize this lead, especially up on with the likes of the Arc Warden coming through here. What's he going to be building up? I actually see a 4-staff up for him, just giving him a little bit more mobility for the gangs coming up here from DC. And looking at the Viper, his counterpart in the middle lane, he will... I mean, this Viper has been dropping in regard to the net worth by quite a bit. He's been working towards this Hurricane Pike for the past couple of minutes. And of course, Arc Warden, if you have a look at everyone's net worth here, it's literally just the Arc Warden's net worth that is keeping, or that, you know, has SG so far ahead, as well as the support. Radiant's middle tower finally fall. Was that Radiant's middle tower or Dire Tower? Dire Tower finally falling. I could have sworn I heard Radiant's middle tower falling. Let's see. Next item coming up here for the Phantom Launcher is probably going to be the Lincoln Sphere. Wait, what's coming through? Yeah, Lincoln Sphere is up. And having that Lincoln Sphere, of course, does stop targeted abilities. Will be quite big up against the likes of the Bloodseeker, as well as the Nyx and the Reaper Scythe. So being able to stop, well, 2 ultis basically and a normal castable ability, it's a good pickup here. Bloodseeker, however, will have his BKB up within the next couple of minutes, and that might just be go time yet again for the side of SG. Is DC going to smoke up right now? They do have a smoke. They have dust as well. They're drawing a line towards the bottom here, but they decide to go in mid. Will they be able to get the kill onto the Necro? The Necro does force off himself away. He is decrept as well. The Viper also coming through. It will hit him, but the entire side of DC just decide to back off, even after they used the Viper Strike as well as the Darkness up here on the Night Stalker. So they decide to back off. Moving up here, lots of lines. The initial line was drawn here for the side of DC, but they decided to go on mid. Maybe not the hero that they wanted to go on, having that 4-staff there as well. Necro managing to get out of that, and here comes the push once again from DC. This is one thing they can do very well with the Phantom Launcher as well as the Dazzle Heal Bombs. They can clear out creep waves and push towers very quickly. And SG know they can't really they can't defend a tier 2 tower there. DC want to push up here for tier 3. Those of you guys asking, or basically saying the caster sounds South African. Hey guys, that is because I am South African. Well, we do see an engage coming through here. Tier 3 tower has dropped. They do manage to kill off the Tempest double quite quickly. Another heal bomb actually finishes him off. DC want to go in for the racks right now. They're targeting the melee racks as well as a little bit of chip damage onto the range racks. And I think they might just decide to back off. No more illusions up here just yet. But the BKB is being used here by the Bloodseeker. Turning around, trying to get the kill onto the Pugner. Pugner does not have his ultimate, trying to do as much as possible. But the Viper's the first person to drop from this. And here comes the Reaper side. 3 heroes down for the side of DC in exchange for none. They did, however, manage to get a tier 3 tower and a little bit of chip damage. Just over half, or just under half damage onto the range racks. And like 400 onto the melee. Maybe if they focused everything on the range, they would have been able to get the entire range racks down. Night Stalker is being chased up right now by the sneaky Nyx Assassin. And double 4-staff coming through, unfortunately missing his Earth Spike or his Impale coming through there. And that will, yeah, the rest of the side of DC will just retreat from that. I see like a lot of people saying, Navi, Virtus Pro, USA, USA. Reddit, that was very un-American of you. It should be USA, USA. Oh, I love Twitch chat. You guys are freaking awesome. So let's check here. That is an Aegis going the way of SG. The thing is, we just saw DC pushing extremely fast, and that was when they didn't take any kills. If they do manage to get a pick off here or there, that might just actually be a full lane of racks. And the side of SG, even though they're 13k up, they know that. The push coming through here from the side of... Okay. No idea why, but okay, Lich. Chain Frost being used. Sure, only 80-second cooldown on creeps. The side of SG, they do have a very good lead currently. Net worth, 13,000. Experience, around 20,000. So SG feeling comfortable where they are. But they have to be careful not to overextend, get picked off anywhere, because DC will just punish them for that. Bloodseeker, that was a level 10 BKB used as well in that previous fight, building up towards his Manta style now as well to try and debuff any kind of silences that are thrown on him. But we do see Pugna trying to go in for a kill. However, the Tempest double doing a lot of damage. Will it actually be able to get the kill? Yes, it does. No uphill missed chances there. And Nightstalker coming in as well. He might just drop from this. But how many evades does this Nightstalker get? So currently 4 and 19 in favor of SG. Do we have any DC South America fans on Twitch? Come on guys, send the guys from DC your energy. For the guys that are rooting for SG Esports, they don't need your energy right now, but send them some anyway. Constable, he uses Tempest double right now. The amount of damage he uses, he's like, well, DC, you guys can push quite fast, but hey, guess what? So can I. Force stop being used here onto the Arc Warden. Tempest double. They're trying to kill him off as quickly as possible, but he's still alive and he's doing a lot of damage here by himself. Are we going to see any kind of counter engage here? Viper, will he be able to get a good Viper strike off? A 3-man impale coming through. That's a mini Ravage. Doing a lot. They did get the Viper strike in onto the Nyx, taking only a quarter of his damage at this point. Arc Warden is on half HP. However, he does have the Aegis of the Immortal. Where's the engage coming through from DC? They've lost their Dazzle, so they have to move back up to high ground. They have to find high ground here and just try and delay this as much as possible. Phantom Lancer does not have his Yasha, does not have his Manta up just yet. Does get stunned up here, but he'll be okay. And let's quickly go through the item progression here. Necro building up towards a Dagon. He does, of course, have an Aghanim Scepter, 4-staff, Blink Dagger. This Dagon will help, considering... I actually like this pick. Pugna will be using Decrep to save his allies, and every time he uses that, hey, it's a Dagon to the face. It's a free Ethereal Blade. Every time the Pugna uses Decrep on himself or on his team. HFN might be in quite a bit of trouble right now. HFN disconnected just as the pause came through, and the engage, the Impale is about to go off, and the 4-staff. This is not looking good for the side of DC. Pugna, no wait, that's the Nyx Assassin. Phantom, yep, he does have a buyback, but I'm just gonna say right now, good night, sweet prince. Oh, is he gonna? No, yeah. Oh, the grave comes through just in time. Phantom Lancer still busy trying to do as much as possible, getting Doppel walks down. He actually buys back, and here comes the counter right now. Viper might be in a lot of trouble. Viper does not have buyback. He does have buyback. Lots of buybacks coming through right now. That is the PL as well as the Viper. The Chain Frost coming through. If the PL drops down, oh, this just might be game. Phantom Lancer is dead. Triple kill up here. Chi-Chi's being called. Instant disconnect. Very bad timing coming through there on the initial disconnect on the Phantom Lancer. And then he just ran in like a maniac. Not really. Hoping that his team could actually follow up in regard to that, but just so much damage coming through. And this Bloodseeker, every single time that I've seen a Bloodseeker get up that BKB and get up that Radiance, they just do not seem to die, and they just do so much damage to the entire team. SG Esports are the winners for the South American qualifiers. I mean, what a game to cost, and SG just brought it out there in the end. DC showing a little bit of flair in game 1, but SG bringing it back 2 games in a row. Congratulations to them. For those of you guys that don't know who I am, I'm Reddit Dota. Check me out on Twitter. And of course, just if you guys have any criticism, comments, feedback, drop me a DM. Like, just message me. Tell me, hey, dude, good casting. Or work on this and this. And I will definitely do so. This graph just started going the 16-minute mark all the way down in SG's favor. A little bit of a dip, a little bit of hope for the side of Digital Chaos. But after that, it just went one way, and that was SG Esports' way. The scoreboard, 11-2 up on 4DR. This time, HFN not being able to carry his team to victory like he did in Game 1. And Orton not being able to carry his team to victory like he did in Game... he didn't carry his team to victory in Game 2, but he did a lot in Game 2. The side of SG Esports just played extremely well. And Arc Warden, 687 GP, 739, sorry, GPM, 7, 1, and 9. He was just hitting like a mad truck. He was unstoppable. And looking at who killed who the most, I always like looking at that towards the end of a game. Necro killing the Dazzle 3 times, and Arc Warden killing the poor little Pugna 3 times. Bloodseeker killing the PL also 3 times. So 3 heroes dying 3 times to 1 hero each. Guys, on that note, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am out. It is just after 6 a.m. where I am, so I'm going to have a good morning sleep. And for those of you guys in South America or wherever you are in the world, hope you guys get some good rest after this. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.